If you have been hearing the views around decentralized APIs and wondering whether API3 is the next big thing in blockchain data solution, then stick around because this is going to be a full breakdown and reviews. We will cover what API3 actually is, why it matters in crypto world, how it compares to its competitors like Chainlink, its tokenomics, new use case, risk, and whether it's worth adding in your watch list or portfolios. And always remember, this is not a financial advice, a purely educational. Do your own research. It's very important while investing in any projects. So let's start with the basics. API3 stands for Application Programming Interface 3.0. In simple terms, it is a blockchain project aiming to bring real-world data directly onto smart contracts without relying on centralized middlemen. Right now, many blockchain uses Oracle like Chainlink to fetch off data such as stock price, weather information, or exchange rates, but API3 is doing it differently. Instead of depending on third-party oracles, it allows its API providers themselves to connect directly to blockchain using something called anode. This makes the process cheaper, faster, and more secure. And since API providers already own the data, it reduces the risk of manipulations. Why should you care about this? Well, decentralized app run on smart contracts, and those contracts need accurate level data to functions. For example, a DeFi platform might need the latest Ether and USDT price. An insurance smart contract might need the real-time weather data. A metaverse app might require live event feeds. API3 provides this data pipeline in a trusted, minimized way. Think of it like upgrading the internet or blockchain apps. And the key point, why these projects like Chainlink use node operations as middlemen, API3 cut out the middle layer. This could reduce the cost and improve transparency. Now let's talk about the tech. The key innovation in the anode, an open source Oracle node. API providers can easily deploy it to connect their data directly to blockchain networks. It's designed to be maintenance free, meaning even non-crypto companies can integrate their data without needing a deep technical team. Another big element is that DAO, Decentralized Autonomous Organization, governance model. API3 is governed by the community through the API3 tokens. Tokens holders can vote on proposals such as APIs to onboard, how treasury funds are spent, or what upgrade should be made. This makes API3 a fully decentralized project, not controlled by a single company, which arrives with the ethos of Web3. Let's break down the tokenomics of API3. Token name API3. Total supply 114 million tokens. Authority, governance and staking. Staking reward, API3 holders can stake their tokens in the DAO and earn rewards, but they also take on insurance risk, meaning they are backing the reliabilities of the data feed. This model is interesting because it ties reward accountability to staking. If an API fails and causes losses to the apps, stakers might have to cover those claims. This creates gain in the game, which could make the network more trustworthy compared to its competitors. Now you might be wondering, how does API3 compare with Chainlink, the current market leader in the Oracle? Chainlink uses independent node operators to fetch and deliver data. API3 allows data providers themselves to connect directly. In theory, API3 could be more cost efficient and secure since there are fewer middlemen. But Chainlink has a massive head start, huge partnerships, and deep liquidity. API3 is still relatively small in comparison, but it's carving out its own niche. Partnerships are key to any Oracle project. API3 has already been working with various blockchain platforms including Polygon, Avalanche, and Moonbeam. It also exploring use case beyond DeFi and insurance, game, and supply chain management. The big question is, can API attract enough API providers to integrate a node and scale adoptions? Because without widespread adoptions, the best technology won't mean anything. Of course, no project is perfect. Some risks include, like competing against giants like Chainlink, the challenge of convincing traditional API providers to adopt Web3 solutions, market volatility. API3 token has to be huge, swing in price, governance risk. DAO decisions could be influenced by large holders. So, what's the future outlook? If API3 succeeds, it could become a key piece of Web3 infrastructure, powering everything from DeFi to the metaverse. Its dialect to API models could help it stand out. Price-wise, API3 is literally undervalued compared to competitors, but remember, it's a high-risk, high-reward play. The long success depends on its adoptions, partnerships, and whether it can deliver on its promises of secure and decentralized APIs. And that's a lot on today's deep dive into API3 crypto. What do you think? Is API3 a hiding gem in the Oracle space, or will Chainlink and others maintain dominance? Drop your thoughts in the comment section. I would love to hear your perspective. If you find this review helpful, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more crypto breakdowns, and turn on notifications so you won't miss out in the next video.